a treat for y'all tonight. Please make sure y'all give these gentlemen your undivided attention. All right, Keith Davis, USC football trophy, Rose Bowl champion, New York Giants, world-renowned speaker. He's done it. He's been there. He's spoken to the young, the old, the middle-aged. So guys, give a big hand, round of applause. Guys, I'll tell you, you're gonna love it. All right, Keith Davis.
All right, fellas, I ain't gonna hold you back. We're gonna get rolling. I brought a couple of homeboys with me as well. Our goal tonight is just to encourage you, inspire you, and just take you to a new place, because I know you all want to go to the next level. That may not just be the NFL, but your life, or maybe your grandmama depending on you, your mama depending on you. You're the first one with this opportunity at a university, and we're gonna make sure we make the most out of it. So, real quick, let me introduce a couple of other homeboys that are here with me. I was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles, the Crenshaw area, and I'm only sharing that because the next homeboy, he's born and raised in Los Angeles as well, but at the age of 12, couldn't no longer live with his mama, didn't know his real daddy, so he had to move with his grandmama. She moved him here to Texas, became one of the top high school football players in the state of Texas, ended up getting recruited by every major university in the nation, University of Miami, Michigan Wolverines, Texas A&M, Texas Longhorns, USC Trojans. But his cousin and he decided they were gonna stay together, and there was one place that said, we'll sign both of you. His cousin wasn't as good a player as him, so they both ended up going to the University of Texas El Paso. At UTEP, he was a 4-year starter, team captain, known for coming around the corner like crazy with that pass rush. It led to a phenomenal opportunity in the NFL for him with a team called the Seattle Seahawks. But he had a terrible neck and vertebrae injury that hindered most of his playing. With 6'2", 270 pounds, let's give it up to my homeboy, Mr. Germard.
I just want to say what's up to everybody in here, man. Just want to say, I'm gonna try to tell y'all my story, man, motivate, inspire every single one of y'all. What I want to start with is, we do this thing called game time. So I'm gonna ask you, what time is it? And I want every single one of y'all to say game time, all right? What time is it?
Game time.
Oh, that's weak. That's weak. What time is it?
Game time.
Come on. What time is it?
Game time.
Come on. What time is it?
Game time.
Let's get it going, Keith. All right.
This next young man actually grew up right here in, right down the road in Houston, ended up playing his high school football right there at A-Leaf, then had a whole bunch of issues going on in his life. He'll share this story. Ended up finally, after a couple of years of not playing at all, at a junior college, and at this junior college, they end up becoming national champions. He played with one of the top NFL quarterbacks that you all know, who actually just retired, Cam Newton. They were just, what's the name of the town right over here?
Brenham.
Huh? Is it in Brenham? Yeah, Brenham. I forget the town. I'm not from Texas. So, Blinn Junior College, they were national champions. My boy Dominic was one of the guys on that D-line that helped lead them to that national championship. Got recruited by all the major universities, Tennessee, Texas, Miami, all these, and ended up going to the University of Houston. They had one of the most successful seasons ever at the University of Houston. They went undefeated all the way, almost all the season, ended up in the bowl game, 12-1. Then he ended up getting his trial with the Green Bay Packers, had a significant injury that almost took his life, actually. Was standing 6'3", 295 pounds. Let's give it up to my homeboy, Mr. Dominic.
What's up? It's a pleasure to be here with y'all. You know, being here is like being home, because right down the street I went to Blinn. I remember, you know, being young, coming up here scrimmaging you guys just to get ready for that national championship. So you guys were part of the reason, your organization was part of the reason why we won the national championship, you know, getting ready.
All right, and then this last gentleman, he was a college football player, actually one of the top linebackers coming out of the state of Texas. He'll talk a little bit about what happened with that whole college football experience. But after that, he ended up getting into the fight game on a professional level, but not just the fight game. This dude is a phenomenal fighter. He is one of the guys who actually made it to the UFC faster than anybody in UFC history. From an amateur to a pro faster than anybody in UFC history. He's also a professional classic boxer as well, and then now he's fighting for the world championship in the bare knuckle boxing. Man, he's a trip, bro. My man Rashad stands 6 feet tall, 250 pounds. Everybody, let's give it up to my homeboy, Mr. Rashad Coulter.
I appreciate y'all, man. Thanks for having us, man. And let's keep saying, hey, bare knuckle boxing ain't for everybody. But hopefully, man, my story today can inspire some of y'all, man. I look at all you guys in here, man. I got a son that's a sophomore in college. I got another son that's in high school. When I look at y'all, hopefully something in my story today can motivate you boys, man. But thanks for having us.
Real quick, right? So this is what we need. We don't just talk, so we're gonna do real quick, just a quick couple of visual aids real quick, and we're gonna get rolling. So first of all, this is what I need. Every single team has a player like this. When I was at USC, we had a couple of them, man. They were phenomenal players. But you have some players, man, they may not be real tall, they may not be real heavy, they may not even be real strong, but they're extremely fast, and they may be extremely small, but they got jukes and they got moves. So this is what I need. I need your smallest, shortest, quickest player on the team. Who would that be? My smallest, shortest, quickest player. Cool. All right, cut me up real quick. All right, let's give me a hand clap, everybody. All right. Everybody say this with me now. Everybody say cornbread, fried chicken, collard greens. I need your biggest, widest, heaviest dude on the team. Who would that be? Help me out, bro. Help me out, bro. Help me out. Help me out. Ooh, damn. All right. Damn. What up, cuz? What up? All right, let me stand right there. All right, cool. And then, that's what I need. And then I need like a QB or something. Who's your QB, man? Who's a QB, man? Give me a QB, man. I got QB. And then last of all, I see a coach back there, man. He a big dude. He got purple on, bald head. That's the big coach. Coach, help us out for a second. Let's give him a hand clap, everybody. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Stand right here, man. Appreciate you, all right, coach. How you doing? All right, here we go. Everybody say the word dream. One more time, dream. I say the word vision. Sight can see what is, vision sees what could be. All I can see in front of me, my mama doing them drugs, my daddy doing them drugs, my neighborhood messed up. We living from one raggedy apartment to the next. Sight sees what is, but vision sees what could be. And so I wanted an opportunity to do something different. So today, some of you came here with different kinds of dreams and visions, but we're gonna get this whole team on one page, the same page. Now, it has nothing to do with their character or anything about them. I don't know any of these players. I just got some size differentials that I want to go through real quick. So my man is obviously fast, quick. As soon as I called it out, you guys all pointed at him, but he is the smallest one in this group. So I just want to do a quick analogy real quick. We got a couple of different types of dreams. Everybody say little dream. Little dream. Big heart, but small, but fast and quick, all right? Now, he's a little bit taller, about average size, maybe a little taller. Everybody say average dream. But we can't stay there either. Everybody say big dream. Big dream. But I came to Prairie View A&M to challenge everybody here. Everybody say big old dream. Can't hear you. Everybody say big old dream. Big old dream. Big old vision. Big old vision. So this is what we're going to do first. And then the next thing we got, I got one brand new professional baseball bat. Everybody say breakthrough. Breakthrough. And I'm not talking about breaking bats over our legs or anything like this. Some of you need a breakthrough. You've been on one page the same way, same time, but we're going to a whole new level. And I'll let my boy explain a little bit about this, but we're going to go from vision to a breakthrough. So, real quick, my boy Germard is a very, very strong individual. So my boy Germard likes to do something that lots of players do in their training. He likes to do something called a push-up. Everybody say push-up. So what's gonna happen is my boy Germard's gonna lay flat on his stomach and do a push-up, but he's gonna do a push-up with the lightest person in this group standing in the middle of his back. So help me out for a minute, okay? I'm gonna have you standing right in the middle of his back. Step up, all right? And then my team, everybody on the count of 3, I need y'all to say push. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on, give me that Texas A&M energy. Prairie A&M energy on the count of 3. Push. 1, 2, 3. That's a very guard. Step out. But we can't stop with a little dream. Average dream. Come on up, help me out for a second. Here we go. Over 400 pounds of pressure to snap a baseball bat. And normally, when you see guys do it, they'll place it across their leg and they swing it. They have speed and momentum, and pow, they'll try to snap the bat. But boy, Dominic's gonna try something a little bit different because it's a different kind of breakthrough that we gotta go through. Because some of us, man, maybe our daddies wasn't there, maybe our mamas left us, maybe the school district counted you out because of some grades. But we're gonna talk about a whole different kind of breakthrough. So he's just gonna place it across his leg, and from a dead start, just try to snap this thing right in half. But we gotta do a breakthrough. Everybody say breakthrough. Breakthrough. You sure you wanna try it? Hold on a second. So listen. There's one other player who speaks with us, one of the strongest players to come through the NFL Combine, played at Florida State. My homeboy Clarence benches over 650. Him and Dominic are the only dudes I've ever seen actually do it like this. He said he's fired up today, so he's not gonna place it on his leg, he's gonna place it behind his spine and just try to snap this thing behind his spine. So we're gonna go for breakthrough. Everybody say breakthrough. Breakthrough.
If I'm gonna do this, I need some energy, man. So all right. Now I need that one clap. No noise, but just that one clap there. Boom. Boom.
Let's see the breakthrough. Let's listen. Breakthrough. Come on, man. Come on, Don. Breakthrough. 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 Come on. Everybody say breakthrough. Breakthrough. Let's give my boy Dom a big hand clap, everybody. Y'all have no idea how hard that is.
I remember, not too far away from your age, I needed a breakthrough. When I was 15 years old, both my mom and dad dropped me off at school. And when they got out the street, FBI agents pulled them over. They got out the car with guns on their hips, and they arrested both my mom and my dad. That same day, they went to my 65-year-old grandma's house. There were cops surrounding her apartment everywhere. They kicked down her door, boom, put guns in her face, and told her, get down on the ground. My 65-year-old grandma, man. My dad was a drug lord. My dad sold tons of drugs all throughout the U.S., and I wanted to be just like him. That was my vision. But I came here today to let you guys know that God has a different vision for your life. And that vision that he has for your life, it will open up doors for you. So that next day I saw both my mom and my grandma in court. But when I saw them this time, they had chains on. And they had these chains from their hands going all the way down to their feet. So when they stepped into the courtroom, they took one step at a time, just like this. I was hurt. I had these tears, man, just pouring down from my face. To see my mom in chains, my grandma in chains, that was devastating, man. The same grandma who sacrificed taking care of her grandkids because their father was on crack was in chains. The same mom where I stayed on Antoine and Tidwell, and she sacrificed sleeping on the floor catching the bus just for us to make it, was in chains. But I speak all around the world, and no matter where I go, I always meet people in chains. And I'm not talking about physical chains. The chains that I'm talking about here today are the strongest chains that will hold you back from reaching your full potential and will try to bring you down. Invisible chains. Chains that can't nobody else see, man, but you see it. Chains that can't nobody else feel, but guess what? You feel it. Chains of depression, giving up, throwing in the towel. Family issues, relationship issues, drug issues. But no matter what change you may be facing in your life, I came here to let you know, man, God can break those chains, man. You see, man, not too long after my parents told me they was gonna be gone for a long time, my dad called me. And I told my dad I didn't want to be in this world anymore. This big 6'3", 300-pound guy told my pops that I wanted to commit suicide. I was done. And my dad told me these words, like Martin Luther King, he said, son, that's not the way. Martin Luther King said, darkness cannot drive out darkness, but only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, but only love can do that. You see, man, all of you guys have a gift, man. And like I told you before, the Bible even talks about that gift will open up doors for you. Your gift, man, that you hear playing college football. You see, man, Muhammad Ali said champions are made in the gym. He said champions are made from something deep down inside of them. A desire, a dream, a vision. And you guys have a dream that's inside of you, a vision that's inside of you. And I'm telling you, you can reach that dream. You can reach that full potential. Do you know what the word potential really means? I looked it up, and it defines this. Potential is having or showing the capacity to become something in the future. You have it, you show it, and you can have it. You can fill it up with the capacity. You can become that thing in the future. But it's some things that will try to hold you back from reaching your full potential. And I know, man, generational curses. You see, like I told you, I want to be just like my dad. I called my dad. I told him, I said, look, man, put me on your team. I want to be on the same operations as you. My dad was moving 18-wheelers. My dad was friends with Freeway, Ricky Ross, man. I said, put me on your team. And my dad told me these words, man, that changed my life. And I want to tell you these words today. He said, son, throw it away. I'm like, what? I'm right there at Blaine Junior College. My mom is struggling. When I walk outside, I see sewage outside on the concrete from downstairs all the way to the street. I'm standing in one of the #1 crime race in Houston. And you want me to throw it away? But when he told me that, man, I promise you, God was knocking in my heart. And because I threw it away, guess what? I ended up winning the championship ring that year with my boy Cam Newton. Because I threw it away, I ended up getting recruited by over 14 schools all around the world. University of Miami, Tennessee, Kansas State, Oklahoma. Because I threw it away. When my parents came home from federal prison, they didn't see me in prison, but they saw me walking across the stage because I ended up being the first person in my family to walk the stage and receive my college degree. And the best part about it is both my mom and my dad was released from federal prison just in time to see me walk the stage, man. And my family is restored. I want to tell you guys something, man. Sacrifice. Everybody say sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Man, when I was your age, man, I had to sacrifice some things. I had to sacrifice the females. I'll be honest with you, man. I love, back in those days, I love to smoke weed. But even then, I had to sacrifice not doing drugs. Because you know why? I wanted to reach my full potential, man. I wasn't gonna let something so small stop me from going towards my vision. So I want to ask you guys something, man. Are you gonna let something stop you from going towards your vision? Is it worth it, man? It's not. So I want to encourage you, man, whatever is stirring up in your heart, throw it away. To sacrifice something is to sacrifice something right now, temporarily, for what you will become in the future. So I want to encourage you with this, and I'm going to be done. Remember this if you can't remember nothing. You don't fail when you lose, but you fail when you quit. I'm going to say it one more time. You don't fail when you lose, you fail when you what?
Quit.
Don't quit, fellas.
Everybody say breakthrough. Breakthrough.
Breakthrough.
Man, it's a breakthrough day, bro. It's a whole new level for you, your family, your team. It's not an accident we're here today. I hope you know that. When you play and stuff happens, man, it's not an accident. I ain't gonna hold any more. My boy Germard is gonna come up and just share a quick story. Here we go.
So as Kieth talked about, man, he's from South Central. The thing is about myself, man, growing up, is I was counted out. Tell you I was counted out because I was born 2.5 months early. I was born with 5 heart murmurs. I wasn't supposed to be here. The simple fact that my father, who was in my life at that time as a baby, when they heard about my mother having a baby and the baby's got disabilities, if the baby make it, my father looked at my mother, looked at the doctor and said, I'm out. I was counted out. I was counted out by the doctor. I was counted out by my father. But I'll tell you the moment that changed my life forever. I remember walking to class one day, and my best friend, the teacher, was standing outside. As the teacher was standing outside, she was yelling. She said, when you come in the classroom, put your backpack down, sit down, you have a test to take, it needs to be finished before you leave. I'm like, cool. Why is she yelling? So I walk into the class, I place my backpack down, I sit at my desk and I start taking my test. As I'm taking my test, I'm trying extremely hard, but it seems like I don't get it. So I turn and look back at my teacher, she looks at me, and she says, Germard, that test needs to be finished before you leave, so make sure you finish that test. So I go back to trying my hardest and giving my all, and when I finally finished the test, it was the end of the day, which was Friday. Well, Monday came around, and me and my best friend, we walking to breakfast. See, growing up, I wasn't no skinny kid. Nah, I was a chubby kid. So it's one thing I loved. I love me some food. But this one thing about food, man, it changed my life forever. This one thing was and still is a honey bun. Let me tell y'all about this honey bun, man. Let me tell y'all. There was a guy that went to my school, right? We called this man Cheeseburger. Now, my man Cheeseburger knew about all the snacks, right? And Cheeseburger told me one day. He walked over to me, put his arm around my neck and said, "You get that honey bun? Tell me to warm it up for 15 seconds. I'm like, 15? So I walk into the cafeteria, I said, "Lunch lady." I said, "Excuse me, can I get the honey bun?" She says, "Yes." She grabs the honey bun, gets ready to hand it to me, and I stop her. I said, "Hold on. Could you warm it up?" With a smile on her face, I promise you. She looked at me and she just was like, 15 seconds. I said, 15? She must have been talking to Cheeseburger. She grabs the honey bun, she puts it in the microwave. She pressed the 1 and the 5, and just as she got ready to press start on the microwave, I don't know if it's just me. I don't know. Or I'll choke the Kieth would say. But when she pressed on that microwave, I started to dance. She opened that microwave. She handed me that honey bun. I looked at my boy, he looked at me. I opened the honey bun. The steam was coming out. The glaze was just dripping. I took a bite of that honey bun. I had it all over my shirt, all over my face. I'm laughing, walking to class, the teacher standing outside. And I asked my boy, I said, "We got another test we just took on Friday, it's Monday." She overheard me and said, "No, Germard, you're no longer in this class, you're now in a special class. Because you can't read like the rest of kids, you can't write or speak as properly as the rest of kids. You are not placed in our special class, you have dyslexia." She said that to me, I heard a noise, so I turned and I looked. It's my boy, best friend. Guy, he looked at me, he was just like, "Can't read, can't write." And to him it was a joke, but to me it wasn't funny. He made me feel like I wasn't enough. He made me feel like I didn't have what it takes. See, I read a book by Brene Brown that said to fit in is to lose yourself, but to stand out is to become yourself, meaning every single one of you are valuable and special when you are just you. Because you enough and you got what it takes, but it's not until you finally believe in you. Him laughing at me made me feel like I wasn't enough. I wanted to quit. I wanted to give up on life, and I told myself, when I go home today, I'm not even going to sit by him. I'm going to sit back of the bus. Because you know, like I know, the back of the bus, that's where the fun is. So I go to the back of the bus, I'm back there having me a good time. Bus come to a stop my house, second house to the right. Mama always told me, "Take your shoes off before you walk in my house." So I took my shoes off. I opened the door, and as I closed the door behind me, I heard some weeping and crying. So I looked to my right where the living room was, there was nobody in the living room. When I looked to my left, there was a hallway with a slight opening where the kitchen was, and nobody was in the kitchen. There's 4 doors, there's 2 to the left and there's 2 to the right. The first door to the left is my room, but nobody's in my room. Across from my room is the restroom, but nobody's in the restroom. I'm nervous, and when I was nervous in the 4th grade, 2 things would happen to me. The first thing would happen to me would be a nervous giggle like, "Who in here?" The second thing happened to me in the 4th grade when I got nervous. It's a secret, so don't tell nobody, all right? All right? Cool. I used to fart, but listen. It wasn't the one with the noise like, it wasn't that. It was the one only you could hear. So we stepped in this room, I'm just like, I get to the door and I kick the door like I'm the police. Ain't nobody in there. I look at the last door, the door's kind of cracked. The light is off, and we've been crying out louder and louder as it got closer and closer. I push the door open, I cut it out and I look. There's my mother sitting on the bed, she was shaking, she was crying. It's important I tell you my mother's shaking and crying because I've never seen my mother cry not once in my life. At this moment, I knew something was wrong, I knew she was hurt. I knew she was going through something because my mother worked 6 jobs. My mother was a gangbanger, she sold drugs, she did drugs. I'm from South California. My mother, she was a tough person. She never showed emotion. But at this moment, she's shaking, she's crying. I run over to my mom, "What's going on, please?" She looks me in my face, moves her hair to the side, and takes a hit of whatever she was smoking. But I knew whenever my mother smoked, I knew. She only smoked to try to take herself away from the situation, but it always brought her back worse. See, my mother, she always smoked only because she said that's her medicine. The medicine never helped. Medicine always made things worse. My mother, I knew when she did that, I knew something had to be wrong. So when she looked at me, she blew the smoke and moved her hair to the side. She simply just said to me, "You dumb, you stupid, you can't read, you can't write, you can't speak, you're gonna be just like your father, nobody." The words she said, they hurt, because words hurt. See, a coach once told me 6 stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And it ain't true, because in football, I broke a bone and it healed. But the words that were said to me, they affect me to this day. And some of us don't understand. Some of us are using words and we think it's just a joke how you use them. But it's not just when you say to somebody else, but it's what you say to yourself. See, when I say you enough and I say you have what it takes, it's about you believing it. Because growing up in South Central, nobody told me I was enough. They want to jump me in the game. They want to be a part of something, but they ain't telling me that I'm valuable. They ain't telling me that I'm special. But you come to a place just like this. They recruited you. They want you to be here. They see your value. They see how special you are. But do you see it yourself? Do you see it? And when you see it, do you speak it? Do you tell your teammates good job? Do you tell yourself good job? Do you believe in you? See, the thing is, every single one of you are special. You're unique. When you were born inside a mother's womb, there's 9 million options. But he said, I chose you. He chose you because he knew how special you were. He set you aside. He appointed you. Because he knew how great you are. He knows how phenomenal you are. He's coach knows how valuable and special you are, not just to your family, not just to this team, but how valuable you are to this world. Y'all special. It's the truth. I looked at my mom and said, "Mom, what do you mean?" She said, "Baby, you got dyslexia. They say you can't read, you can't write, you can't speak, son. They're gonna just pass you through school." I looked at myself, I said, "What do you?" I said, "Mama, listen, stop." I said, "I'm not gonna be average, I'm not gonna be good. I'm gonna be beyond great. If not, I'm gonna fall like those push-ups I pushed." Everybody say push. Push. Come on, everybody say push. Push. See, it's times when we feel like we ain't got it. It's times we make a bad play and we feel like we're not enough. It's times when the game made it go high and we're supposed to go, you feel like you're not enough. The practice didn't go high it's supposed to go, and you feel like you're not enough. But I'm telling every single one of you, forget that last play and remember who you are. That you all special, you all valuable, but it's not until you finally believe it. When I finally believed in myself, that kid from South Central, that kid who had 5 heart murmurs, that kid who had no father in his life, that kid who sat there and mother said those things to him, I finally believed in me. I became the first person in my family to go to college and graduate. And I graduated with a communication degree, meaning I had to be an expert in reading, writing, and speaking, the 3 things they told me I couldn't. I remember walking into an auditorium full of 1,000 people screaming and hollering. Woo! Woo! I'm like, hold on. They cheering for me. Looked in the stands, the same woman that cried in that room, her pain was someone crying in the stands, my mom. But not just doing any cry. She did that cry like, right before you got ready to get a whooping, she was like, but she said something to me. My mom, she said, "You did it. What you did is simply meant this. I did no drugs. I did no alcohol. It's because I believed in me." Sometimes we don't understand how valuable we are because we self-sabotage ourselves by doing alcohol, by doing drugs. He talked about sacrifice. You don't sacrifice, you don't give up. Give up right now for what you are to become. I gave it up as a kid. I gave up the clown. I gave up the playing around. And I pushed myself to be the best I could be. I'm asking, I'm challenging you to not be the same as you was yesterday. I'm challenging you to push yourself every single day. I'm challenging you, just like that man that was on my back. I'm challenging you that I know the dream is hard because you got your family on your back. You got your teammates on your back. You got your city on your back. You got so much on your back. I challenge you to push. I challenge you to lift it up. As you lift it up, it's like every single one of y'all want to cheer and scream and holler. That's what your family gonna do. That's what your city gonna do. Your team gonna do. Your school gonna do. I tell myself every single day, I say, don't be average, don't be good, be beyond great. Because anybody can be average. Anybody can be good. When you finally believe in you, you become beyond great. So now I just want you to repeat after me. Say, don't be average.
Don't be average.
Don't be good.
Don't be good.
Be beyond great.
Be beyond great.
One more time. Say it like you mean it. Don't be average.
Don't be average.
Don't be good.
Don't be good.
Be beyond great.
Be beyond great.
Let's give my boy Germard a big hand. I'm about to say push, persevere until success happens. I called my homies when Coach asked me to come because I remember sitting in a meeting just like this when I was at USC. And they brought one man, and we had a lot of speakers, but this one man changed my life with one sentence. And so I don't know what story will click, but there's gonna be a click that happens. And you gotta grab hold of it. That one man was a man named Dr. Edwin Lewis Cole. I didn't realize he's spoken over 100 nations, wrote more than 30 books. All I know is he was speaking to our team. I didn't know how profound he was. And he just gave me one sentence. He said, winners are very different than losers. He said, winners always look at what they're going to, and losers always look at what they're going through. And it just hit me. My hood, my mama, my family, my grace, my life, man. It was winners look at what they're going to, losers look at what they're going through. And all the dudes in my hood, it was all caught up. My life changed, so I'm gonna challenge you today. It's a fight. Speaking of fights, my man, powerful dude, an incredible fighter. In between his training, I said, man, you gotta come down here with me to Prairie View A&M. So he said, all right, man, I'm gonna change the schedule and make time to come. So I want you guys to give it up for my friend, Mr. Rashad Coulter, UFC.
Who in here's been beat up before? All right, who in here got the best hands? I know y'all be getting on in the locker. Who in here got? What about? Tell the truth. Who lying? Point to who lying. All right, let's go. I need one person. I want to see somebody's hands that's running. One person. One person. Who? Hey, y'all point to him. Where is that? Come on. Who got the boxing experience? You right here. Come on. Yeah, you come on. All right. I want y'all to cheer him on that. We're going to put some gloves on him. We're going to let him hit some mitts. We're going to see if he got some hands real quick.
All right, cool, here we go. Let's give him a hand clap, everybody. Now I need the next person. Who do y'all want to see get choked out?
But first, I'm gonna put him in the chokehold, and let's see how long it takes him to go to sleep. There's a lot of us in life, man, we're bound by strongholds. And my whole life, I had a stronghold on my life. See, some of y'all can relate. I was raised in a single parent home because my mama left me and my sister in the basement to die with cats and dogs. We was in the basement for 3 days. No food, no diapers, no changing clothes, no nothing. So from a child, I had no choice, but I was abandoned. And I know it's a lot of you guys sitting here now that's under the sound of my voice, that some of y'all probably feel like you've been abandoned in your life. There's a lot of your daddy left you, your mama left you, your friends left you, your girlfriends left you. I was raised by my daddy and my grandparents. See, as I was a kid, I was told many, many years, I said, you know what? I'm never gonna grow up and I'm never gonna be a single parent. Now you've heard all these guys' stories here, and everybody here is different other than me. I never graduated from college. And I don't want you guys to be like me and live the life that I live and have to resort to the things that I had to resort to, but I can always talk to you like Jay Prince said, every day you wake up with a choice and a chance. Today we're gonna focus on your choices, guys, on your choices. I didn't choose to be raised by a single parent, but it was the cards that I was dealt. I remember being a kid, young, and my mom was the biggest dope dealer on the East Coast. I'm originally from Newton, North Carolina, a town of 16,000 people, and I remember my mama being the biggest dope dealer on the East Coast, guys. My mother had a house, a 3-story house, and on her house she had a room for her Rottweilers. She had 2 dogs, and her dogs had a room, but me as a kid, I never had my own room. So some of you guys can relate growing up feeling abandoned like you never had your parents there. But man, it made me make so many choices in my life that I didn't have to make. You see, I was one of the #1 recruited linebackers out in the state of Texas. And I was sitting in the room just like you guys. But the only difference is the choices that I chose to make. See, I was around all my friends, and every time we would get together, we like to smoke and drink. And I remember back in 2000, my partner, his name was Prairie. I called him Pratt Daddy. He was actually from here in Houston, Texas. He introduced me to something called lean. And I was you guys' age, and I'm here in college. I remember coming to campus and being the man. See, some of y'all right now don't know what it feels like to be the man on your campus, but you can be the man in your life. And whenever you come to the campus like this, I see so many star athletes in here. I see so many guys right now that have the potential and you're used to being the man, but when you get to college, all that starts over. And see, I was really high on myself at that time because I was the #1 recruited linebacker out of the state. I was running a 4.32 40. I was 227 pounds coming fresh out of high school. So I was feeling myself. But I'm gonna tell you guys something, football is not forever. Because just how I was the #1 recruit, my freshman year, I partied, I drank, I sold dope, I did everything under the sun, and then I got put on academic probation. But then I remember saying, hey man, you know what? You came here for a reason. My only reason why I was in school was because I knew I was gonna go to the NFL. But because I didn't go to class, because I wanted to smoke, because I wanted to drink, they suspended me from school. In 2001, I moved back home to North Carolina to help my grandmother take care of my grandfather who had a brain aneurysm. And about this time, I was working in the factory, and I remember being in a room just like this and thinking about how I blew it, how I blew my entire life because of the decisions that I chose to make. But in that time that I was in North Carolina, my grandfather had passed away. You see, I had an auntie who was a drug dealer. She told me she was a dope fiend. crackhead, lived in my grandma, never helped take care of my grandpa. I had to come out of college and go all the way back home to North Carolina to see my grandpa every day lay in the bed with bed sores that you can put a fist in. I could put my fist in the holes in my grandfather's skin because he was bedridden for so long. I had the opportunity just like you guys, but because of the choices I chose to make, I lived the life that I didn't choose to live. Shortly after that, my grandfather passed away. Then I said I can no longer live here in North Carolina. And that time was the #1 state for unemployment. So I moved back to Texas. Texas is big, everything in Texas. You can go to Texas and you can make it. So I began to work, and I went back to college in 2002, and I played at Texas A&M University in Commerce. God, I'm playing in the game, and I'm back on the team. I did everything that I needed to do. Show the coach I can make my grades. Show my coach I can make it to the meetings. Show them everything in the game. Bam! Ruptured my quad muscle completely out my pelvic bone. Just imagine you're eating a piece of fried chicken, and you bite it, and you tear the whole piece of chicken off the bone. That's exactly what my quad muscle did off of my pelvic bone. My life was over. If you're laying in the hospital and I hear a doctor coming in, the doctor told me you'll never play football again. He said you'll never walk again. You will never be the same athlete that you ever was. And in that moment, I remember sitting in the hospital, looking at the IV bag, thinking, man, if I could just squeeze this bag and take my life. Football was my identity. And if I could tell you guys anything sitting in this room right now, you're more than football. You're more than a number at this school. You're here for a reason. You're here for a purpose. Everything that you're doing, everything that you're hearing, everything that you're receiving, every single down that you guys play is for a reason. I want you guys to take this with you. Understand that you have an opportunity of a lifetime right now. So then I fast forward in 2004, I had my first son. I got a son who's right now, he's a sophomore in college at Hendrix College in Arkansas. And I have another son who's going to be a senior this year in high school. But I had my first son. Then I had my second son in 2005. I'm working a 9-to-5 job, and I was a star-studded athlete just like you guys. I'm going to talk to you about failure because I know what it's like to fail. And I know what it's like to want to take my own life because I'm not living the life that I thought I was going to live because I didn't want to make the right decisions when I was in your position. I had to keep my kid's mom, she got turned down on coke. Leaving my kids in the middle of the night. The same lifestyle that happened to me was beginning to repeat itself in my life and show up in my kids' life. And I remember like it was yesterday, July 31st, 2007, I took my kids and I moved out and I became a single parent. I raised 2 boys on my own their entire life. But then I want to tell you guys also that it's not only that I raised 2 kids by myself, but yes, some of you guys here might have kids, and some of you guys might be wanting to have kids, but what you will understand is that you never want your kids to go through what you went through. So right now, in this opportunity, you have the opportunity to not only plan for yourself, but plan for your family and plan for your kids' family later on in life. What happened was, one day I was watching Kimbo Slice. I was watching Kimbo Slice fighting Ray Mercer. I was blowing big, man. I'm sitting in my house, man. Me and my partner, man, we sitting there, we watching this fight. I'm blowing, I'm drinking. And I said, man, I bet y'all can whip one of these fools. I was looking at them, and I was like, in my heart, I had one homeboy. My one homeboy looked at me and said, say, man, I think you can do it. I think you got some go. And from that moment on, I got up off the couch and I walked into an MMA gym. And even though I was playing with him and I was showing him some moves, I had one guy who was 245 pounds. I had one guy who was 145 pounds who choked me out 5 times in 3 minutes. And I said, whatever this is, I gotta learn it. So say with me, dreams come true.
Dreams come true.
Y'all too cool for school. Say dreams come true.
Dreams come true.
You gotta believe it, man. That's what I'm saying when I'm walking out the tunnel at American Airlines at the age of 35 years old. You see, I didn't have my first MMA fight till I was 30 years old. I never fought amateur. I never boxed. I never wrestled in high school. I never did any of these things. I literally was sitting on the couch and said, I bet you I can do that. It was a change in my mind. But when I'm walking out the tunnel and I'm looking over to the right, I see Shaq over here. I see Tom Brady over here. I see all these celebrities, and I'm thinking to myself like, man, I done made something of myself. And then I get into the technical zone and they're greasing my face up and I'm smelling the Vaseline and I'm talking to the doctors and I'm looking at the crowd as everybody's looking at me because now we're about to be two warriors, they're about to be the world's entertainment. And I get into this big moment. My first fight, I took it on 8 days notice in a weight class higher. The guy that I fought was 6'5", 258 pounds. I took the fight on 9 days notice. I was lost my job and I was sitting on the couch and I was eating, looking for another job and then my phone rang. Why do I tell you that story? Because you never know when opportunity knocks. And just like I get into the octagon and I fight people, every single down for you guys is your opportunity to fight. Every single down. You get an opportunity to do it over and over and over again. I get one shot, one night. If I'm not on, I'm embarrassed. Because I've been knocked out before. I've been choked out in training. I've done everything that there possibly could do, or everything that's happened to me that could possibly happen to me in a fight. I've broke my knuckles, I've shattered my knuckles in half. I've conditioned my shins to feel like metal bars because when I kick you and make contact with you, I want to break your bone. And a lot of you guys, some of your hearts are hard like that. Life has made you hard. You don't have to be hard. But I remember putting God first and I said, okay, God, you know what? If you give me another opportunity, I wanted to make it to the NFL and I was a failure. I told myself I was a failure. And some of you guys will probably feel now like you're a failure. Like, man, you know what? I got popped again for this, I did this and I did that. But hey, man, you got the opportunity to change your life around. And I remember fighting that guy's name was Chase Sherman. And although I lost that fight on 9 days ago, he'd been training for 3 months getting ready. And I lost that fight because I got tired. But because of the heart and because of I fought so hard, the UFC paid me an extra $50,000 for fight of the night. But I'm gonna tell you something. Before I made it to the UFC, I was fighting in a different weight class. I was fighting 205 pounds because that's when I feel good. Heavyweight is when I'm lazy. Heavyweight is when I don't want to die. Heavyweight is when I don't want to do the things that I want to do. I know I can perform at that level, but everything is just easy. So I'm going to tell you guys, when I lost 3 fights in the UFC at heavyweight, I was like, man, these dudes are just too big. The average guy in the UFC at heavyweight is 6'4", 263 pounds. And here I am, 5'11", 235, 240, fighting these giants. But I'm going to tell you something, and I'm going to close with this. When I begin to do the work, when I begin to be like, you know what, I'm a diet right, I'm gonna run, I'm gonna do everything that I'm supposed to do to shed this weight. I begin to get back in shape, I begin to lose the weight, and I begin to go back down to my natural weight class. But then they call me to go fight over in China, Beijing, China, on a short notice. But because I had been doing what I was supposed to be doing, because my weight was right, because I had been eating right, because I've done everything right, I made the 14-hour flight over to China, and I beat this China dude at 205 pounds. I made the weight. So I tell you guys that to say this. A lot of you guys are carrying extra weight that you don't have to carry. Cut the weight. Cut the weight. What does your weight look like? Is it Instagram? Do you want to be social media famous, or do you want to be life changers for yourself and for your family? Is it women? Is it dope? Because when I was in school, sitting in your seat, I was bringing 1 pound and 2 pounds back a weekend from my hometown, selling dope to the whole campus. Wrong choices. And there's some of y'all that's there right now, some of y'all that need to cut the phrase, some of y'all that's trying to be in the in crowd. But I'm here to tell you now, cut the weight. Fight the fight that you're supposed to fight. Sometimes us guys, we make life harder than it has to be because we're trying to be something that we're not, or something that we see. And I'm gonna tell you something, God can only bless who you are. He can't bless who you're trying to be. So get in your weight class, fight your right weight class, man. I thank you guys for your time and thanks for having us.
Let's give it up for my boy Rashad. All right, so I'm gonna wind this up. The New York Giants were playing the New York Jets. I was just a rookie. It was only my second NFL game. I didn't play very much because of the knee surgery. That being said, we come out, the stadium's got 85,000 people in the crowd. We clicked up, gloves on, wrist tape. adrenaline pumping, jersey tight, dudes is yoked up. We line up for this kickoff, they boot the ball. Me and another rookie flying down the field, we make the hit. We run to the sideline, I'm not playing very much, just special teams. So the first defense runs out on the field, I'm standing on the sideline watching. The Jets come out and they line up and they start calling the cadence, green 28, green 28, they snap the ball. My man gets the peel, he hits it to the outside. But about his third step in, it looked like he's gonna take it around the corner, but by his third step, he plants his foot, boom, and cuts back against the grain, and my man turns it straight up the middle of our defense, and he was gone. The reason he was going through the middle, they talking about 15 yards down the field, because we had a gap in the middle of our defense. Everybody say gap.
Yeah.
So like any good offensive coordinator, they came back again, ran the same exact play. Blue 18, red 44, they snap the ball. My dude gets the peel again. He hits it to the outside. The third or fourth step in, it looked like he's gonna take it around the corner. My man plants so hard, cuts back against the grain, turns it straight up the middle of our defense again, and straight up the middle. Because we had a gap in the middle of our defense. Everybody say gap.
Yeah.
And if you ain't figured this out, with at college level, you already know. Coach knows, every coach here. You cannot win with gaps in your defense. The reason we had a gap is because we had a linebacker. He had got traded to the New York Giants. His name was Abraham. My man Abraham was in there, but he kept missing his assignment. And the thing was, our coach was furious because our defensive coordinator, we didn't know at the time. We knew he was good, but we didn't know he was a genius. We didn't know that he would become the best and most renowned coach in all of NFL history at the time. We didn't know that. But he was furious because he knew his defense worked. But my homie just kept missing his assignment, and it's create gaps. You can't win with gaps, homie. Our defense coordinator at the time, he's the head coach for the Patriots now. His name was Coach Bill Belichick. Coach Belichick yells my name, Davis! I'm just a rookie, I'm 22 years old, man. I run up to coach, man, he grabbed me by my shoulder pad, looked me in the eye, he's fuming. He said, I don't know what the hell Abraham doing in there, but I got one job for you. Everybody say one job. He said, Davis, I need you to get in there and fill the gap. Everybody say fill the gap. I looked him in the eyes, I said, fill the gap, coach. He said, you my biggest, strongest guy. I bet you like 5'15". I was lean, I was lighted in, you know, you got a 12-pack, yo. So next thing you know, man, I'm taking off into this game. And as I'm running into the game, I'm running as fast as I can, man. I'm hyped. And before I can even get to the huddle, I just start screaming. The next thing out of my mouth is the one thing that every single rookie in the NFL loves to say. The next thing out of my mouth is the one thing that every single freshman on Prairie View A&M love to say. I just scream to the top of my voice as I'm running in, and I just scream, I say, Abraham, you out. I'm in. Everybody say I'm in. This is why we here, man. Showtime. Maybe your cousin ain't here. Them homies who sat on the couch with him, drinking the leagues with me, they not in the UFC. There was a moment and a point where he said, I'm in. Dominic's father looked at him and said, son, throw the drugs away. Because he said, I'm in. And now it's your point and your time. Man, I got in the huddle, bro. I was so hyped. I wasn't nervous. I didn't know half our plays I played with was this thick. But man, coach said, listen, I did. He said, don't worry about nothing else. So I was so hyped, man. I was hyperventilating in the huddle. I was like, when a big D lineman in front of me, like, hey, you better look back. He go, Root, you all right, man? You all right? I couldn't say nothing to him. I was just like, my eyes are this big. I was like, and I just looked at him, I said, fill the gap. Everybody say one job.
One job.
So sure enough, coach said they're gonna run it again, man. The Jets come out, they line up. Man, them boys get set, man. Dude, the back come out, they start calling Kieth 28. They snap the ball. My man gets the peel just like coach said. He said they was gonna run it again. Man, I'm moving along, as you know, this game moves in milliseconds, man. I'm moving along, about 8 yards back. I see my man coming, he look like he's gonna hit the corner, and I watch his foot. And boom, my dude plants the foot, and he start cutting it back. And as he start cutting back, man, I'm moving up, and all of a sudden in front of me, it just looked like Moses in the Red Sea, man. This gap opened up, and I just took off. Because you know what I was thinking, right? Yeah. Okay, what was I thinking, right? Yeah. Fill the gap. And I was flying up in there to do what I was assigned to do. And when I came up in that gap, there was a dude coming through the gap with him, one of the biggest humans I ever seen in my life. Big boy was leading the way like, I weighed me about 70 pounds. He's 6'6", I ain't but 6'1". But I knew I could win the battle if I just get low. Everybody say, get low.
Get low.
And that's how I'm gonna end this thing. And I came up so fast, so powerful. When I say get low, I ain't talking about football, though. I'm gonna tell you one thing you ain't figured out yet. This man right here, this man knows how to get low. I've seen him on his face. God help me. Help my mama. He got a beautiful daughter now, beautiful wife, 2 beautiful kids. His life has changed, his daddy's changed, his mom, they ain't in federal prison. Because this man decided he was not gonna have no gaps between him and God. Fill the gap. This man told you about his mama in South Central LA. She was straight up gangster. His mama was. She said those words to him. They gave him every kind of learning disorder you could imagine. The first one is found to graduate because he decided he going to a place of power. You know when you get low, that's your place of leverage. It's your place of power. It don't matter how big they are. And my man Rashad already told you the reason Rashad came with me. Rashad is the man who leads all the men at the church. Because Rashad understands that you can have more if you don't settle for less. And I just came up in the gap. Boom! Coach was yelling, good job. And now I'm here today because some of you, there's a gap. Your grandmama depended on you to fill that gap, man. You can't be playing games up in here. I done heard we already got brothers already caught up in the season, ain't even started yet. They already caught up, gaps. When I came to USC, they didn't understand me, man. Nah, man, I wasn't smoking no weed, I wasn't hanging, I wasn't doing nothing. You know why? Man, my father, he never watched me play one game. My father was running them drugs from LA across the country. My father committed suicide when I was 4 years old. Left my mama in South Central LA with no money, no hope, no nothing. My mama, she was so depressed. She didn't know where to live, no money. My mama started drinking. My mama became a legitimate alcoholic. Then my mama started getting high. Then my mama had one gap after another, one man after another moving into the house. Dudes moving in. Brutal dudes, beat my mama like crazy. It's the worst domestic violence you could ever imagine. I really thought one of them was gonna murder my mama, man. So dudes who understood, they didn't, I'm feeling this for the dudes who already here, man, you already on track. They didn't understand me. I'm a freshman at USC, but I ain't got no games to play with you, man. I'm here because I got gaps to fill. Class started at 8, I'm there at 7:45. Everybody say, fill the gap.
Yeah.
Coach say weight training at 6 a.m. I'm there at 5:30. Everybody say fill the gap.
Yeah.
Some other brothers, they playing, they kicking, they tripping, they doing their thing. I don't understand. Some of you know you here to fill the gap. And on your team, and this is our time, Coach, we don't went long enough. This team is a phenomenal team. I watched y'all on the field. The only thing is we have gaps. We got dudes with attitudes. Man, ain't my time. Man, whatever my gap is, if it's special teams, it's special teams. But I'm feeling it. I'm on this assignment. Fill the gap. You see, man, my mama, she passed away now, but listen, She was so proud to see her son stand on the stage. I didn't just graduate, man. I came in with the lowest remedial stats. I went to 19 different schools before I even got to the 10th grade. Man, I was no SAT scores, no nothing. They had never had a player come to USC who came in so low, who graduated highest grade point average, Dean's List, academic All-American, Scholar Award of Honor. They made a special documentary on me. They had never had a player who scored so low on the SAT who gonna graduate from the business school this high. Because they didn't understand, man. When I strapped it up, I was ready to fill the gap. This is you. This is for my brothers who are focused here today. And my mama was proud to the day she died. And I got a beautiful family, man. My wife is a world-class sprinter. She ran on the fastest women's track team in America. My wife has a silver medal in the 200 meters and the 400 meters in the USA Track and Field Championships. My wife is fast. She fine. And I got two beautiful sons. They were born Buffalo dudes. They came out the womb like this. And every day, these gigantic hands that bench 500 and some pounds, I would grab it, and I put it on both the heads. And I said, the Lord bless you and keep you. His favor surround you like a shield. You will be the head and not the tail. One of my homeboys asked me, what you doing, bro? I said, man, I'm filling the gap. My daddy never did that for me. This is for those who got kids and homies. Listen, my son ended up graduating from USC, mother one from UCLA, one from the Ivy League. I'm sharing this with you today because my wife is not just my wife. She's my queen. All the homies I was with and the people in my family, they call all the ladies B's and H's. I'm just be real, bitches and hoes, but I don't say those words. She's my queen. Nobody in my family was like that, but it's a whole new generation. It's the second half. Here you are, and here the Lord is. Fill the gap. No religion. It's not about believing in God. It's about belonging to God. I challenge you today. Fill the gap for this season, for your dream, for your life. On the count of three, fill the gap. 1, 2, 3.
Fill the gap.
1, 2, 3.
Fill the gap.
1, 2, 3.
Fill the gap.
Coach said you got one job, and let's make it happen. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate the time.
Yeah. Great, man. Thank you guys for coming out, man. You guys enjoyed it, I hope, right?
Yes, sir. Hey, I want to give a special thank you to, if you guys don't know, my man in the corner. My man in the corner, his name is Mr. Dwayne Charleston. First of all, we are glad to still have him here. He's fought through everything you can imagine with the cancer, but he's still here, strong fighting the battle. But he and I have been friends for years, and he's the one that connected all this and does a lot for you guys. So I want to give a special thank you. Let's give a shout to my man, Mr. Dwayne Charleston.
Guys, we heard a lot of things tonight, bros. We heard a lot of good things tonight. How valuable you are. Not just, and you guys have heard it many times over, from us as coaches, now you heard it from these men. You heard about potential that you have, that we keep telling you guys that you have. It's about choices. All this has to take place, guys, in order for us to be where we need to be. In order for us to be where we need to be, you know how good you are. I tell you guys that all the time. Y'all know me, I'm very transparent. If you want that, I wouldn't tell you. Shoot, we've been having these last, five practices, like just running around, yeah? I mean, y'all was so hyped this morning, I almost walked off without saying anything. Because y'all flying around. That's what we do. That's who we gonna be, guys. From day one when we started this, to this day we get to celebration. But we gotta take it one game at a time. I mean, I'm thinking about hashtagging that thing, fill the gap. I like that. We need to put that on our shirt, fill the gap. Yeah, y'all like that? Fill the gap. That's what we going with, fill the gap. Rest of the season, we're gonna fill the gap. I don't care who it is. But what I'm tell you what's gonna happen on Labor Day, Classic weekend. Y'all know what's gonna happen?
TSU, you're out.
That's what's gonna happen. TSU, you're out. And then on to the next.
About a BTS, coach.
BTS. Guys, listen. Take what these guys have said tonight. All right, coaches, let them go. Go ahead, listen up. Hold up. All right, y'all know what takes place tomorrow, all right? Everybody needs to be on time for breakfast. You got breakfast check. Be on time, not late, on time. You gotta fill the gap, all right? Fill the gap. That's where it starts at, tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning. Hold on.
Let's do it, fellas. I got a lot of people. I've been in 64 countries, so I'm gonna show them how we do it. All right, we're at Prairie View A&M. I'm gonna say what we're gonna do. We're about to say fill the gap. All right, here we go. We at Prairie View A&M.